We got some news to get into today, boys. A crazy disease spreading across servers. Also, more stuff going on with Mythic Plus in terms of how to get to that top 1% and what it's going to take, and a few other hot fixes and 12.1 updates. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight in. Here we go. It's another week of the Omnium Folio. That's right, or your Omnium portfolio. I don't know what you want. This thing sounds like something that we use to apply to a job. I don't know. But anyways, week 4. The quest this week is Dungeons, Delves, or LFR bosses, just going and basically playing the game at this point. I'm assuming if it's a dungeon, that also means maybe you can double dip here and do a time-walking dungeon, since you're going to be doing those this week too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But doing some time-walking, maybe we'll complete this quest. Don't quote me on that. This week is a decent one. You're going to get a little stat boost from this, so it's going to give you a secondary stat boost. So the better your armor is, the better your gear is, the more geared out you are, the better this Omnium Folio week will be for you, because you're getting that percentage boost. So there you go, another exciting week of the Omnium Folio. It is important to do it because it does carry through the rest of the expansion. So make sure you go get this quest done and move on to the other thing you should be doing, Turbulent Timeways. That's right, Turbulent Timeways week 2 has begun, which means we got Battle for Azeroth time walking, jumping into these old Battle for Azeroth dungeons, getting the quest done, and actually getting the buff is what you really want to do here. So getting the buff, completing 4 of these dungeons to stack the buff 4 times. Remember, we want to do the buff not only 4 times per week, but for 4 weeks out of the 6 to be able to get this badass-looking Viranoth mount. Also, we basically got the return of the Battle for Azeroth items, so if you want to purchase any of these, you can go ahead and do that. If you're low on Time Warp badges, don't forget, you will get the Remnant of Azeroth, which rewards 500 Time Warp badges on your first completion this week across your warband, and then 200 for subsequent completion. So yeah, basically getting more of those will be good, and buying more of these items if you want them, you'll be able to do that. Moving on to the other thing that just went live with this reset, Chapter 1 of the Curse of Ulatek is now out and playable. So you can go ahead, jump right in, kicking this thing off in Silvermoon City. The Legacy of the Amani is the quest. You'll jump straight into the new storyline, which is going to lead us into 12.1. There are cutscenes. I'm spoiler free, right? I haven't seen them, but we're going to go ahead and play through this today. So if you want to go do that, definitely go do it and prepare yourself for what will be basically the prelude into 12.1, that storyline kicking off. 12.1 and 12.0.7, I should say. 12.0.7 hotfixes are also in this week with the reset. Blizzard addressing a Void Spire issue where the light-blinded Vanguard could respawn after a soft reset using a raid skip. Housing issues, the Daylight Circle Room or Evening Circle Room was not being properly rewarded at housing levels 3 and 5, so there you go, that should be fixed. Item fixes, we have Mycomancer, or Mycomancer, yeah, whatever the hell, how do you say that shit? The Mycomancer's Hearthspore and multiple Hearthstone charges could be consumed for human characters. They fixed an issue where basically our freaking racial wasn't working properly, I guess. Thrillbot 9000 and Chillbot 9000 are now unique for pets. And then a couple quest fixes here, which is always good to see. You know, quests being broken are shitty. Nutter says you pronounce it Mycomancer. Pretty sure that's wrong, but I prefer that pronunciation, actually, so thank you for that one. Moving on to this incident here. Turns out that Moonguard is a more dangerous server than we appreciate, guys. It looks like an STD, that's right, a server-transmitted disease is spreading through a Moonguard. I'm not making this up, guys. You can't write this shit. It's so freaking hilarious. So it turns out that there was an actual disease, kind of like the Blood Plague, spreading through Moonguard. This was a Moonguard-only issue. Turns out that the disease is the Withering Contagion, and it actually leaked out from Brackenhide Hollow's Time-Walking Dungeon. This thing was spreading everywhere. Specifically, again, you can't make this shit up. It spread from Lion's Pride Inn and everything. So yes, the sex hub of Moonguard was spreading a disease all over the server. Old news, yes. So this was actually fixed. Blizzard did get in and hotfix it, so that's great. All the diseases have been removed, so it is safe to return to the Lion's Pride Inn and Moonguard and continue to finger pop your fellow players. But this was an issue that I thought was worth reporting on, and again, a reason why it's very dangerous to play on Moonguard, and by play, I mean to play with each other. So be careful with that. Yeah, just a fun story to pick up here, and I had to really talk about it. Okay, Mythic Plus, boys. We got Mythic Plus numbers, how everything's looking, and what it's really going to take to hit that top 1%. Because, yes, people out there Definitely want that 1% right now, going for that badass Phoenix Boy mount, and it's something people want. So what is it going to take to get it? Well, first of all, let's talk a little bit about performance here. First time in your stream, what's up, Mystic? Welcome in, man. Glad to have you here. Right now, the overall health of the season, it's dipping a little bit. Okay, we're looking at the numbers. We got Midnight Season 1 again. Here's the blue line. It is starting to cross under the War Within Season 1, actually, at this week 14 marker. For the first time this entire season, we're actually starting to see a little bit of a dip below the War Within Season 1. Now, the good thing is, really, the season's been healthy the entire time. It's been looking good. Focus here without China, by the way. And it's still ahead of any other season, or the third season of the War Within, where really we saw a hard dip. So overall, the season's still decently healthy. We have all the dungeons increasing in terms of completion rate and completion time. So all the dungeons are currently in a healthy state. We did see some dungeons flip-flopping in terms of their completion rate. We saw Temple of Thralis and King's Rest fighting for last place still. Myasar Caverns held the last spot since week 1. But at least it hasn't slipped lower in terms of percentage share. And then overall, we saw Academy and Spire, as well as Terrace and Nexus Point, kind of switch positions there. So overall, though, the dungeons are still at a very high completion rate. I believe it's in the 90s. Yeah, 92.77% are being done. So that's a pretty damn high number. Overall, though, what's it going to take if you want to be a top 1%er? That's right. And I'm not talking about in life, because we all know you degens aren't anywhere near that, and neither am I. But top 1%er in the game for this season, it's looking like really you need a mixture of plus 20s and plus 21s. And that's why we're really seeing a spike here. If you look at the chart and where people are currently running, it looks like anything 20 or higher is starting to see a little bit of a spike here towards the end of the season. And yeah, it's expected, right? People are trying to push that top 1%. And as I said, it looks like a mixture of 20s and 21s will get you there. Now, there might be a push even further up the chart right now, but right now, that's what's really going to get you to that top 1%. We have seen, it looks like a 24 and a 25 key actually completed. So yeah, seeing a 25 key now completed for the first time, people pushing that and actually finishing it. You don't need to go that high, but right now it's anything 20 or higher will really kind of get you to that top 1% conversation if that's where you want to be. Overall, competitive season, fun season. It's looking like the next season is going to continue to be easy, maybe even easier. I know some people were worried about the dungeon makeup, but we're going to look at some of the hotfixes Blizzard's pushing in for this. So here we go. We got developer notes, Mythic Plus. And now everything's looking, and right now the way things are looking for 12.1 dungeons is that Blizzard continues to nerf the shit out of them. So we got here a mixture of Ruby Life Pools, King's Rest, and Temple of Thralis, and how those are looking for the next season. Blizzard pushing a lot of changes here. Overall, Ruby Life Pool, we're seeing slowed down ability pacing on all bosses, changes to creature packs composition and adjusting ability packages to simplify the pacing and mechanical ask of each pull, reducing trash density in some of the sections of the dungeon, changing patrols of Thunderhead and Flame Gold to occur on the ground, which is good. We don't want any fucking aerial attacks. That shit's annoying. And then reworked abilities for the Flash Frost, Earth Shapers, Tectonic Slam to reduce cast bar clutter and bursty group damage. So again, nerfing this shit. We also have Temple of Thralis general stuff here. They reworked the gauntlet sequence prior to the final boss to remove the need for a player to be in a timeout while energizing the orb. Also redesigned the ability packages of trash and spawning compositions throughout the dungeon to improve reliability, consistency, and counterplay opportunities. And then finally here we have King's Rest, a couple changes. Updated most creature ability packages across the dungeon, improved the pacing of the RP sequences and dungeons. We've seen Blizzard doing this with a bunch of these dungeons here. And then reduced the downtime between enemy packs in the Golden Serpent part of this. So good changes here, a lot of easier ways to do this stuff. Blizzard, again, simplifying a lot of these dungeons. The common theme across all the dungeons is removing a lot of casters. Blizzard's reworking a lot of the packs, so there are less casters, less things changed, less things to interrupt, less things for us to do. Improved. It is improved. It is improved. How many times are they going to fix Thralis? Look, it needed it, man, and it continues to need it, especially if they're using it in Mythic Plus. I know a lot of people, when they saw it, they were like, oh my god, they're putting that one in the dungeon pool. It makes sense in terms of lore, you know, it's snaky boys and shit, okay, but it definitely needed a lot of reworks, and they're continuing to rework that one. It did get the most changes here, if you look at the overall notes, so we'll probably continue to see changes with that dungeon. And finally, more 12.1 news here. It looks like we know the Renown track rewards now. So yes, there is a Renown track. It is called the Coiled Isle Renown track. And will it be worth it to do? Well, let's check out the rewards here. So for Renown 2, we'll be able to get a cloak. Don't forget, by the way, these Renown tracks, the way they work now is you will unlock shit, but you will have to use Voidlight Marl to purchase the shit that you unlock. It's kind of tedious, but it's not really a big deal because I feel like we're all leaking Voidlight Marl out of our asses at this point. We've gotten so much of it. So there's a cape here that you can get at Renown 2. A couple different decor items here at Renown 3. We see Renown 7 also giving us different decor items. Some decently looking ones here. This one looks kind of poisony, weapon shit, obviously themed to the poison stuff for that entire patch. Renown Track 10 will give us the Tabard of the Hashura. A nice little snake tabard here. Honestly, rogues are going to freaking have a ton of poison dripping shit to wear after this patch is over, so I think they'll be looking pretty cool. Renown 11 will be giving us other decor items. Looks like some freaking urns, if you want to use those in your decor shit. Renown 12 will be giving you a Snexali, which is a nice little pet here. Yeah, good. People want a pet, they can get a pet there. Renown 13, the Idol of Ulatek, I'm assuming is another... Oh, this one is the idol transforms you into a child of Ulatek. Okay, so this is a cool little toy. Not bad. We also see some candle things here at Renown 15. Nice little, what is this, trolley boy looking thing here. More decor items. Renown 16, you get these shoulder guards here. I don't know why they put them on a void elf or a blood elf chick. I can't really tell they look. I prefer it on an orc, but there it is. Renown 17. Now this is what makes it kind of worth it. You get the Indigo Coiled Horror. That's right, one of these 3 triple tied up snake mounts. This looks really cool. If you want to get this, again, Renown 17, it's going to cost you 6,000 Voidlight Marl to get this mount. Renown 18 gives you more decor items here, but a couple ensembles as well. We see the Vestments of the Ekazan's Chosen. This is another cool looking Amani Troll one here. The Battle Gear of the Halizi Chosen. We see the Chain Mauled Janalali's Chosen. Jesus, these names. And then the Warplate of the Nalarock's Chosen. So some really cool looking themed, obviously different Amani Troll themed stuff here. Does remind me of some pretty old looking ZG armor and stuff. So this is pretty cool. I like these a lot. So we'll see how, or ZA I should say, stuff. So these look cool if you want to get these transmogs. Again, this is Renown, what is this, 18 here. And then moving on to Renown 19, we get another mount, the Violet-backed Skyfang. This is going to cost you 8,000 Voidlight Marl. And then finally at Renown 20, a couple shoulders here, a weapon, and yeah, some good-looking transmog. Is it worth it? I think the mounts are cool. I definitely think those are worth it. And then even at Renown 18, these are pretty cool-looking transmogs. Obviously, if you're a player housing Andy, yeah, there's plenty of reasons to do this thing. Overall, big news. That's all for today, really. Again, be careful on Moonguard, boys. You don't want to pick up none of those server-transmitted diseases. But for today, that is all in terms of news.